We hear all this talk these days about these perk wars that are coming out of Silicon Valley, nap pods and plunge pools and all this stuff. And yet, if you look at our list, there are so many different industries reflected. Hospitality, obviously, grocery chains, hospital systems, consultancies. So, Chris, let me ask you, is this Silicon Valley thing kind of overrated?
Well, it's not that it's overrated. I think that Silicon Valley has been used as an example for other companies to offer a really great suite of benefits and perks to their employees to engage them, to make sure that they're being as productive as possible. There's a lot of hospital companies that are hospital systems that are on the list every year. And when we reach out and ask the employees about why they love working at a hospital, their compensation is usually very good, compared to other industries. But they say that there's a sense of higher purpose. They know that they are helping to, cure patients, to help cure diseases in some instances for the research hospitals. And so they're not working just to collect a paycheck or just helping their bosses or their companies make more money. They're actually helping contribute something to the world.
Right, and we see that again and again. But David, from your perspective, you've been at this a long time. Perks, are they even a little bit important? They're a little bit important, but they're not the whole picture. What's the deal?
They're not the whole picture. I think the single most important thing is the extent to which there's conviction in leadership about how you run a sustainable company, and employees pick up on that. When we think about the needs of our workforce, we try to think in a very holistic way. We're certainly not looking at the headlines or what's in fashion or what's cool in the moment. Mm-hmm. We think, what would be most impactful to the well-being of our employees. So, for example, this year, we determined the most impactful thing we could do for our employees in the United States is to provide them free short-term disability. We noticed that many of them, for whatever reason, were not opting to get short-term disability, and we thought, well, gee, that's a real vulnerability, and so we decided that's where we should invest. And when you do meaningful things, it really resonates with them because they know that you're really concerned about them and their families.
Another thing with Marriott in particular, one thing I love about the company is the large percentage of people who start in hourly jobs and end up in management. You have a great example. Your former global COO started off as a waiter, I think. So, and this is not uncommon at the company. So is the idea that there is a lot of opportunity, is that a big part of why employees stay?
It's a huge opportunity. It's an industry of opportunity. Many jobs that have very low barriers to entry. If you're diligent and you want to work hard, there's a place for you in a company like Marriott. And it's also an exciting place for, the latest things. If you're into digital technology, there's very few industries that's interesting right now. It's the hospitality industry in the innovations and experimentation happening there. So, we like to say Marriott's not a place you come just for a good job. You come for a great career because there's just a diversity of different experiences available.